All right, YouTube. Once again, it's Kennard Vernon Stewart here for the podcast talking Auburn football. Go ahead and like the video, comment, and subscribe to Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn. Been a long weekend. As a matter of fact, the football game was absolutely amazing. Not necessarily in the fact that, Auburn lost the game, and we can talk about all the intricacies and the criticisms of the coach and the football team. Yeah, we can do that all day long, but I'll say this. My appreciation for that game was just seeing a full capacity stadium, seeing that crowd just rocking and rolling, and they were having a good time, and the Auburn fans who were there, it just seemed like a really good college football atmosphere, and the competition between the two football teams, the teams obviously played hard and left nothing on the field other than whether they won or lost. And yes, it's heartbreaking to lose a game that close. And I really think that Auburn has a lot to build on in this particular game, as does Penn State, who will now find themselves in the national spotlight as I think the number 6 team in the country because of a pretty decent win over Auburn. I think Penn State found some things that they didn't utilize in the first couple of games. Definitely the use of the tight end. Noah Kane, the running back, will definitely have to emerge as a factor in their running game because the passing game will not always be available to you to the extent that it was against Auburn. And even in that case, you take away a few chunk plays, Auburn decides to step up and play, a little bit more press and be a little bit more aggressive in the secondary, you might be looking at a different outcome, War Eagle. So here are my 5 takeaways from that particular football game. Like I said before, I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I do apologize for, coming on so late, but work-related items and, just trying to get myself kind of recovered from the weekend, coming on a little bit late. But either way, 5 takeaways from that game. Number 1, Bo Nix. I thought, compared to prior road games, I thought Bo Nix's poise was excellent. I thought he was very engaged. I thought his team had a lot of trust in him, and he managed the game relatively well. He did miss some opportunities, though. Now, I know we all remember the pass to Demetrius Robertson that we, at the time, thought was the right choice, but then when they did the replay, Demetrius Robertson, the pass would have had to been beyond perfect. It had to literally be a wide receiver that was wide open for him to have a chance at that ball. Nicely thrown ball, but you run out of real estate. You throw an out route to the corner of the end zone, or fade route, or whatever you want to call it, to the corner of the end zone to where nobody can really catch it. However, the same play, if Bo Nix checks down to his final progression, he would see that he had Tank Bigsby wide open in the middle of the field. And who knows what Tank Bigsby would have done with the football. So that's what I want. Excuse me. That's what I want Bo Nix to work on is the progression part of this piece to give his team a chance to win. Number 2, the defensive line has just got to get a little bit more pressure on the quarterback. I think, they bought a little bit too much stock in themselves in the first couple of weeks of the season, and I think, definitely have to incorporate Tony Fair into the process, because Tony Fair has the ability to hold guys up. He takes up a lot of space, and for what they're trying to do with that inside-out movement with the defensive line, you got to have a big guy in the middle to help open some things up and to help disrupt some things. So I think, Tony Fair's role is going to have to really ignite in the coming weeks. Number 3, Tank Bigsby and Jarquez Hunter are your 2 running backs. Tank Bigsby, number 1, Jarquez Hunter, number 2. These guys are absolutely electric as a tandem, and I think, As teams start to establish their identity down the stretch, I think this is an identity that Mike Bobo is just going to have to accept. I know he likes to throw the football, but if Auburn is going to have a chance, they're going to have to go back 2013 and have this 1-2 punch or 1-2-3 punch once John Shivers comes back with this running game. He's going to have to swallow his pride, and he's going to have to run the football for his team to have a chance, and then build off the running game and pass the football. Where are we at? Was that number 3? Was that number 4? No, that was number 4. Number 5, Auburn fans. My takeaway from Auburn fans is I get it. I get the loss was annoying, but give these guys a chance. Give the coaching staff a chance. And give your mental sanity a chance. One loss does not dictate. We've seen this time and time again. One loss does not dictate the outcome of a season. One game. Because if that's the case, just play one game and just quit. That's why they have 11 games, 12 games. That's all I got, guys. Kennard Vernon Stewart here for the podcast. Talking Auburn football, go ahead and like the video, comment, and subscribe. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle.